iGO Ladies Lounge Health and Wellness Show.
Welcome to the Ladies Lounge podcast, which is your go-to wellness podcast, especially created for women in the workplace, navigating all sorts of challenges of today's fast-paced world. I'm your host, Coach Chido, together with my colleagues, Coach Tari and Coach Praise.
Hello. Hey!
So we're thrilled to be here as we dive into important topics that will help us all live healthier and happier lives. So today we're going to be discussing managing stress and anxiety in the workplace. I'm sure a lot of us can relate to this. So we're going to explore a little bit. But first of all, I just want Coach Tari and Praise to just give us a little bit of real life experience when it comes to this, managing stress in the workplace thing. Come on, tell us. Do you have a story? Story time.
We are ladies, and story time is definitely one of those things that we love. So this is Coach Tari. My most recent workplace stress issue came about a few months ago. I got to a point where my candle was literally burning out. I was feeling a bit cynical, feeling tired all the time. My creativity was so low, and even my motivation to be concentrating on work and doing all these things was at an all-time low. So what I did was, as a wellness coach, these strategies we teach people. So I decided to take my own medicine. So I booked myself a solo trip. Yay! Yeah, I went to I went to Vumba Mountains. Mm-hmm. It was peaceful. The most exciting part of that was driving up to the mountains and getting there all by myself. I felt safe. I felt peace. And, I had 3 full days of no connectivity whatsoever. And it was good.
Tell me, did you meet any exciting people? Because, ladies.
No, actually, I had a very good guide who was with me the whole time. The owner of the little place I was at, very nice guy. If you want contacts, guys, just hit me up behind the scenes.
Please. The air is fresher there, isn't it?
Oh, yes. My mind felt refreshed. And when I came back to work, I was completely healed. Yeah, I call it a healing because I wasn't okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, now that is some experience. Mine wasn't as breezy as that. Well, I had a very big tummy. And that big tummy, I was growing something in it. And honestly,
it's called a baby.
Oh, all right, yeah.
You were growing a baby.
And I'm grateful for it. My stress wasn't that I was pregnant, but was dealing with the whole pregnancy process, And I had to work, you have to earn a living. So I had to talk to people, smile, be nice, while you're feeling like I just want to rush to the toilet, But yeah, I'm glad I managed to get through it, and I have something to say about it after. So yeah. One of those experiences you get.
All right. So these are some very, great experiences that you've shared, ladies. I'm going to share mine later. But, as you're listening to this podcast, just take some time to think on when you've been stressed, how you've handled it. Has it been in a healthy way? What can you do better? If you've got feedback for us, please make sure that you get it to us either on Yammer, on email, so that we can address any types of situations that you've got. We're going to take a little break.
If you're confused about healthcare, it's easier to put your trust in us, where every contribution is secure and you can be sure that your membership card will be accepted. So relax, you're in safe hands with us. With access to world-class medical providers, little to no shortfalls, and free iGO membership for all our seamless members. Join us today. Together, we make a difference.
All right, we're back at it. We're discussing and exploring stress and anxiety in the workplace today and how we can deal with it is specifically as women. So Coach Tari is going to take us through, and this is just the question that I had. what constitutes as stress and anxiety? How can I tell that I am stressed out, I'm anxious? How can I go about that?
Thank you so much, Shido, for that. This issue to do with stress and anxiety in the workplace is particularly close to my heart because a lot of women are going through a lot. I mean, as a woman, you're juggling work, you want to go up the ladder, you want to improve yourself economically, financially, we want to stay relevant in society. Some of us are moms, we are aunts, we are spouses, and there's just so much of expectation from society. And all of these can really impact how we are handling things at work. So let's look at how you can see that you are stressed. Well, one of the first things that you can tell is when you have a difficulty in relaxing. Yeah, you just can't seem to take a break.
But Tari, women generally, we cannot take a break.
Seriously. How can we even take a break? Because, now the baby is all over the space. And the spouse, don't forget about him. And then you come to the workplace, there's a boss there. And, it's like everybody's just demanding a piece of you. How then do we relax? It's like you're always in a stream.
Okay, well, sure. But I also think that part of maturing and growing in intellectual intelligence is having the ability to live in a space in that particular time. For example, we're talking about mindfulness. If you are at work, let's try to really just take that difficult step of saying, I'm at work, I'll focus on work. And then when you're out of that space, you focus on the next thing. So mindfulness really becomes one of those tools that we can use to, really get over our stress. At least try to manage it in some way.
Is it something that you just wake up and say, yeah, I got the mindfulness? Or there's some training or something that can be done because, hey, it's hectic out there. It's like, how can I balance all this?
You're right. I mean, just like any other skill that we have to gain in life, there is need for training and practice and repetition. So with mindfulness, it's really just consciously telling your mind that, you know what, Tari, I am at work. I know the house is burning down at the other side of the town, but right now, my control is within this space. So I am going to do what I'm doing right here. So mindfulness is a powerful tool that we can use.
Okay. All right. So, difficulty relaxing, use mindfulness. What's another thing that can make me see that I'm stressed out?
Okay, so the other thing that we can see is irritability.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. I mean, women, we get a brand for that. Like, people accuse us of being so emotionally rude, like we react too quickly. So sometimes it's important to really just want to take a look back at your reactions to see how irritable you are. If you're being set off quite quickly all the time and it's not in proportion to the stressor, then definitely you need to take a step back and, look at yourself some more.
Okay, but yeah, I look at myself and I'm definitely irritable. What do I do about it?
And most times I feel like I'm right.
Oh, yes. I don't know. Ladies, are we always right? Are we always right?
No.
Of course not.
No, we're not. But in that moment, trust me, I'll be like, I'm in my right.
So when we're feeling irritable, just like mindfulness, whereby mindfulness, we're taking time to be in the spot. With irritability, you really just want to check yourself. You want to check your emotional wellness. So you do what we call an emotional wellness check-in. Check in with yourself. Identify the specific emotion you're going through. Now, this would definitely need some individual coaching on. So definitely hit us up at iGO. You can come in for us and then we can take a look at what we can do to help you identify your specific emotions.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
That's a lot to digest. So we're going to take a little breather whilst you think about if you should hit up any of the coaches at iGO, if you're feeling a little irritable, if you're feeling like you're stressed out. And then we're going to come back.
You do know there's more to iGO, right? Not just gym. What you need is a wellness program that encompasses all 8 dimensions of wellness.
In short, iGO is wellness, right?
Yes, wellness equals iGO.
Call 0808 0236 or email igo@seamus.co.zw to book an appointment with a wellness coach today. iGO, powered by Seamus.
And we're back, and we just want to briefly talk about what the effects of stress are on women in the workplace. So I'm going to let our coach Praise just go through that, and we'll ask a few questions. How does stress affect an individual in the workplace? And how does that also affect the whole organization?
That's a huge one, because we're talking about you as a person. We're talking about the environment that you are in at the workplace, and the environment on your way home, and the environment at home. There was the example, somebody just cuts you, you're on your way home, you're driving, and someone cuts you, and the only thing you want to do is just follow them and give them a real clap. So at the end of the day, it is something that affects, your physical being, your psychological being, your behavioral being. So at the end of the day, it's like a rope of all the different areas of life. Yes. Yeah. So at the end of the day, some get ill. Some illness that you just feel like, my head, my back. No medication can take care of that. And all it takes is that relaxation, that Vumba experience,
Okay.
And then voila, you're back to normal.
All right.
So it's like pressing the reset button.
Great. So Tari, tell us, on an organizational level, how does this affect an organization if, like, let's say pretty much most of the women in the workplace are stressed out, and we're acting how Praise is describing, we're nasty, we're nippy. Like, how does that affect generally the whole workplace?
Thank you so much, guys. Praise, I absolutely love how you have managed to draw a complete picture of how these issues are interconnected from home to work to the environment between home and work. I love that. So on an organizational level now, we see this, like what Chido has just said. We are nippy, we are curt, we are rough sometimes. And our male colleagues can even go as far as saying, she's uptight.
Saying women cannot be a boss,
she's uptight,
women are
or
bossy when they're bosses. It's just hell.
So what that does now, when people start to make conclusions about us in the workplace, we're saying about at least 48% of people in an organization are women. That's a big chunk. And when we are looking at how women are advancing, that number is growing. In many organizations right now, we are looking at a 60% prevalence of women in employment per company. So you can imagine if the company has got so many women who are irritable, stressed out, who don't have healthy mental health coping strategies, we are slowly creating a toxic workplace.
Definitely.
And she will be the boss.
Yes, and she will be the boss. Now imagine you've got 10 bosses here everywhere. God. So when we create a toxic work environment now, it really makes the workplace a difficult place to be. Remember, we are supposed to be each other's keepers, sisters keepers, brothers keepers. And then when that happens now, it means that the employee turnover rate goes up. Who wants to stay in a toxic workplace? Statistics has shown us that people leave the workplace not because of remuneration issues, but to do with toxicity and the workplace itself. So let's talk more about this. I love this conversation.
Interesting. So we can take a little ad break. Please be reminded of all our iGO services. We are here for you. If you're facing any type of stress, any type of anxiety in the workplace, please hit us up.
Live life to the fullest with iGO. We inspire and support your active, healthy lifestyle through a holistic, ongoing process of change and growth. iGO brings you the 8 dimensions of wellness. Through iGO, you'll learn how to listen to your feelings, express them to people you trust, and maintain a positive outlook. Establish good financial habits and plan for the future. Create healthy friendships and support systems. Discover what values and beliefs are most important to you. Look for satisfaction from things you're passionate about, whether it's through work, school, or volunteering. Reduce the risk of illness by increasing activity according to your abilities. Be a lifelong learner by expanding your knowledge and be open to new ideas. And find surroundings that encourage good physical and mental health and where you also feel safe. Now is the time to join the wellness movement. It's time to be a healthier you with iGO, your wellness partner.
All right, we're back and we're just talking about managing stress, managing anxiety, especially in the workplace, because this is where we spend most of our time. I had promised I would give my own real life experience of managing stress and anxiety, and I'm just going to do that now. So what had happened was, I had left college, and it was, I think, about 3-4 years after college, still not employed, already. That's it. That's a recipe for disaster. I don't have money, so I'm staying with my dad and my stepmom. And all of a sudden, my dad decides he's going to move his family back to Gweru. I'm in Harare. My life is in Harare. My friends are in Harare. I go to church. I've got my circles in Harare. I went into a deep, dark place to the point where I wasn't eating. And when I ate, I would throw it all up. And these are some of the signs that you can tell that you are either stressed or actually it's now something that can be diagnosable, something like depression. I was very anxious. I was losing weight, but I kept up pretenses. Everyone would see me. I would be smiling, waving, just hullabalooing, looking like I'm living the life. Up until the day my dad actually came to get his stuff. And I had to make a plan. Fortunately, it worked out. A friend of mine said, listen, you can stay with me. I stayed with her, eventually got a job and everything worked out. But within that deep, dark space, let me tell you what helped me was my support system. My friends, my cousins who knew what I was going through. They tried to do everything to get me out of this place. So it's really, really important for you to have a support system, which Praise is going to talk about.
It's very important. It's very important. And unfortunately, as we grow older, our social circles or support systems get dwindled. It's like everybody's just keeps falling off.
Great observation.
And if you're not careful, you might end up being by yourself. And that's where we have got those suicidal thoughts and attempts and even successful suicides, which is very sad. So it's important that we try and have, those people whom we know, what, they're there. And let's try and be those people who are there for our colleagues and our friends as well. Let's check in with each other and try and just... Doesn't mean that you have to be there every single day. There are those people, even after months of not talking. Hey, how are you doing? And the conversation just starts from there and it flows. So it's important to just keep those key people around so that when it gets dark, they become the light, And then
what else can I do, like on an individual level? Like after we've talked about, so yes, people can help me, but what can I do for myself?
That's important too. You just need to get into the sun. Well, I'm a little bit of a poet sometimes.
We can tell.
We can tell.
So
you should see her, guys. She definitely looks like a poet.
Oh, come on. So sometimes you just go out there. Some people, you're not athletic, yes, but just taking a walk in the sun, it helps a lot because it gives you time to then refocus on yourself, assess yourself, diagnose what's going on with you. It's your quiet time. You're out in the woods, you're out on the road, or you're just sitting outside your door, So at the end of the day, we encourage that you do something with your body. Exercise, do something with your body within your sphere of control, in your house. If you can go outside, sometimes, you come from work, you're exhausted, you cannot go on the road. So what can you do in your house? So exercise is important. It helps refresh the mind and also try and manage the time. If I carry work and carry it home, work is where I'm getting all the stress from, and I carry it home, what is going to happen? It's just going to be chaos everywhere. So it's important to manage your time. When you're home, be home. When you're at work, be at work. When you're out there, be out there. At the end of the day, it helps manage
That's
stress.
a great point. And Tari, take us through what we can do as an organization, because we've talked about what I can do as an individual to manage my own stress, but as an organization that houses all these female employees, what can we do to make sure that it's a safe environment, it's a healthy environment for them to thrive?
Thank you so much for that, Chido. Well, everything starts from within, and each person is responsible to create a healthy space at their workplace. It's not the organization's duty. It is not the .org who creates a good workplace. It is the people within. So you have to work on yourself within, practice your mental health. Because when you see with stress, if you're always stressed in every job that you go to, remember that you are the common denominator. Nobody is forcing you to not exercise. Nobody is forcing you to not eat well. Nobody is forcing you to entertain negative thoughts throughout the day. So you are the common denominator. So when you work on yourself, you saw it when everybody does that. We all create a positive workspace. So let's work together. The next time you recognize that the workplace is toxic, I need you to ask yourself a very good question. How did I contribute to this toxic environment?
Thank you.
I think that's all for me.
Yeah.
Wow. We've had
powerful.
a banger of a show today. These are very hot topics, hey? So thank you for joining us at the Ladies Lounge podcast. We'll be sure to catch you next time. If you have questions, contributions, please hit us up. You have our numbers, you have our email as iGO, you are on Yammer, Teams, please hit us up. Tell us what more you'd like to know, what more you'd like to hear from us. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. If you're feeling stressed out, if you're feeling anxious, please also book a session with any one of the wellness coaches. Tune in next time for more wellness inspiration to keep you empowered and thriving. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Bye.
iGO Ladies Lounge Health and Wellness Show.